Hey everybody, before the video starts, just a quick announcement. These videos will be appearing on my personal channel 1 week before they appear here on Rectify Gaming. If you're watching this on Rectify Gaming, link to my personal channel is in the description. I do these videos as well as some more just kind of creative stuff every now and then just for fun. If you are watching this on my own channel, please check out Rectify Gaming. Link is in the description. We do a lot of cool stuff. I will be leaving the Rectify Gaming intros since my channel is a lot more lax. It doesn't really matter what intro I use. So that's it. Enjoy the video. Thanks. Hello there, everybody. This is Temporal Enigma. Welcome back to another episode of Game Chat. This is actually going to be the first in a three-part series talking about Overwatch. Yes, Overwatch, the game everyone loves to hate on. Just kidding. It's a game that I'm very passionate about. I think is very fun, and a lot of people are very passionate about it. I think it's very fun, and as a result, there's a lot of conflicting opinions about how the game should go and what things should happen and things like that. Real quick about the gameplay in the background. I usually don't mention it, but for the sake of this video, I will. I was testing out a new screen recording software, hence why the watermark is over top of it. Tomorrow's video will not have a watermark, as I have actually purchased the software at this point and haven't recorded the portions for that video yet, as I need to do some actual comparisons. I really like the software. It's cheap, so if you're looking to buy a screen recording software, I would highly recommend this software. It's called Action. Also, as far as the content of the gameplay, I was just messing around in quick play. I'm trying to get to level 25. I recently swapped to PC just so I can play competitive next season, and I was just messing around with some characters I'm not very good at. So as a result, especially that Widowmaker gameplay is pretty atrocious. I was basically just playing characters I wanted to play and wasn't really paying attention to team comp since it was just quick play anyway. But speaking of competitive, that's what the subject of today's video is. I know, everyone and their mother has jumped on competitive and talking about, oh, is it fair, is it balanced, let's interview pros, let's do this. I'm going to jump on that monetization bandwagon for all 20 of you who watch this video, and I am going to also speak about competitive. But I'm going to put my own opinions in on it and my own topics and things like that. And we'll see if you agree with me. First and foremost, the competitive season is terrible. I think everyone kind of knows this at this point. Everything's kind of just funky. It's a total crapshoot on what's going on, and everything's just messed up. For those of you who are unaware, Overwatch creates a scoring system on your competitive rank from 1 to 5,000. 5,000 being absolute top tier, 1 being the worst player in existence. So, it is very hard to be at each end, and each set of numbers has a level to it. They run bronze through grandmaster, and if you just happen to be top 500 of your region, you will get a top 500 banner. Top 500 can be any rank. You could be a rank 2 and be top 500. That will almost never happen unless you're the only person playing in your region, but it is technically possible. The majority of players are sitting in the platinum and gold numbers, with silver and bronze being in the lower percentage, and diamond through grandmaster being in the higher percentage. So, what's the problem with this? Well, every season, the game resets, and you are going to earn a new rank. You will then play 10 matches. Some you will win, some you will lose, and during this time, the game will consider your ranking for this season. It will then put you at a rank number. You'll be given the badge of that rank, and then your goal is to rank up as much as you can. If you win, you go up. If you lose, you go down. The better you do, the more you'll win. The worse you do, the more you'll lose. Pretty standard system. Except here's the problem. And there's a couple problems, actually. First off, the game doesn't really calculate anything if you've already been placed before. This is now Season 5, and I've been playing on my Xbox since Season 1, and the past couple seasons are when I've played a lot of competitive. We're going to negate the first season, since the first season had a different ranking system since the game was mainly in beta at that point. The competitive system was in beta. And I have been placed in Platinum area for seasons 2 through 4. And I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about what my ranking is for the sake of this video. I'm more worried about how things end up happening. So I made it all the way up to 2750, which isn't, the best ever, but it's almost on the way to Diamond, which is 3000, which is where, you start getting halfway decent games, at least supposedly. I then lost a few games. This was back in Season 4. Over the midst of about 10 games losing, and this is a mix of a few things, a mix of playing with some friends and just losing and getting outplayed, a mix of having bad teammates, a mix of me not doing well, messing up a little bit, average mistakes. And over the course of about a week and a half and about 10 to 15 games, I dropped 500 SR. I went from 2750 to 2200. And then I kept just falling from there. Because here was a system in the game. If you win a lot, the game's going to start giving you more and more. If you lose a lot in a row, you're going to lose more and more. So, normally, where I would, maybe lose about 20 points per game, I would go about the 15th loss, I lost 150 SR a game. That's enough to put you from 2300 down to 2150 in a single loss. Something that would take you about 7 games to gain back. And that has to be consecutive wins, mind you. This stigma carried with me into Season 5. And here's an example. I won 6, I think, out of my 10 placement matches. Not great, not terrible. I was placed at 2100, lower than where I had ended the previous season. Because here's how the game actually works. It calculates your MMR, that's your hidden rank. And this makes sense. You don't want a bronze player being placed in Grandmaster just because they happen to win 10 games in a row. That's obviously not something you want to have happen. But basically your game takes your MMR and says, okay, you ended last season in low gold. Doesn't care why, doesn't matter, just this is where you ended. We're going to put you there this season. Your wins and losses basically mean nothing. And if you ask pro players and high-level players, they'll say the same thing. They'll win all 10 games and still be placed 300-400 below where they marked. They'll lose all and be right where they left off anyway. It doesn't make a difference. It will then drop you by about 200 points and give you a boost for about 2 or 3 games. And what they basically said is that they want players to feel like they are accomplishing something. So that you get ranked and then you win and you go up by about 200 points and then you're happy and then the boost turns off and you gain your normal 20 to 50 points based on how well you do. This system is, in my opinion, utter just hogwash bullshit. It makes no sense. You know what would make me feel better, more accomplished? If I won 8 games and was placed at 2700. If I was like, wow, I did really bad last season, but this season I'm doing really well. Not being placed at 2500, then gaining 200 points. Because not only is it banking on my skill, it's also banking on me getting wins afterwards. Because what happens if I get 2100 ranked, lose the next 3 games, drop to 25, or 2050, then win the next 2 games and end up at 2200, where the game really thought I should be at 2300 and will give me those wins to get there. Now I'm actually ranked below where I'm supposed to be. You're banking on me getting those wins. And even if it's consecutive wins, like if the boost is like the next 3 wins, you'll gain extra points, not just the next 3 games, that's still a problem. What happens if, for whatever reason, I lose the next 5 games and I'm at 2100, I drop to 1800, then I get my boost, now I'm at 2000. It doesn't make any sense. The other thing they tell you, which was happening in Season 2, is that you're not allowed to fall out of your rank. And this is like a cool idea. It's like, okay, when I hit the bottom, when I get into a new rank, I've gotten to a new rank, and that's good. And if I keep losing, at least I'm still at that new rank. This is entirely not true. It is true you will not lose the badge or the competitive points, and I'm not talking about top tiers of play where your score can decay and you can fall out. If you're Diamond through Grandmaster and you don't play, your score will be decaying, and if you lose enough, you will fall like out of Grandmaster to Master, out of Master into Diamond. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a Gold or being a Platinum at 2500, losing a game and not falling out of Platinum. The truth is you do. If I'm at 2500 is where Platinum starts. If I win a game and go to 2520, then I lose a game pretty hard, and I will not drop to 2500. I will drop, if I lose 30 points, to 2490. This is now Gold territory. So, yes, my player icon will still have a Platinum icon in front of it. It will still try to match me with other Platinum players, and it will entirely say, you are a Platinum, when in reality, I'm a Gold. And this is the biggest issue I had last season, and this is something I'm going to get into in a minute, was that the game saw that I was really a Platinum player, and kept pairing me with other Platinum players that had the same issue, pitting me against those players, while putting Golds on my team, saying, hey, look, you're a higher player than these people, so you're going to be matching up equally to the other higher players, and we're going to have you basically carry them. And this is something I'll get into in a minute, which is a Platinum player cannot carry Gold players, usually. At least from my experience. And we'll get into that in a minute. The thing I really wish they would do is, and I'm going to compare this to Rainbow Six Siege right now. Siege's ranking system is far from perfect as well, but it proves a good point. Here's kind of my solution for all of this, and that is do what Siege does. Let me go off on a quick tangent and explain what Siege does, first of all. So what Siege does is it ranks you from iron, all the way to diamond. That's its ranking system. Iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond. Most of the players are in silver and gold. What it will do is you play 10 games. If you get every single kill, over every single round, over every single game, and you do top of the team every single time, best you can do is gold 1. Siege's is backwards. 4 is the lowest in the tier, 1 is the highest. So gold 1 is the best you can do in a single placement match. This allows very good players to get closer to their ranks while still allowing, without putting them there, and still allowing players who do well in your placement matches to be ranked high as well. Vice versa, and I'm not sure, but I think there's a lowest cap. So the way basically this is to work, and in Siege right now I don't care about my rank, I'm silver 4. And that's a prime example. Now, Siege versus Overwatch. Siege is a game where people can carry other people. One person can get all the kills. You know, you see it all the time. The top guy's got like 10. The next guy's got 2. You know, and they've just dominated the whole game. That is very possible. There's also a flip side where you're doing really, really well. The rest of your team is doing so freaking bad that you can't physically carry them. So, this system allows, if you were carried all the way, you're not going to end up in diamond and then just get wrecked. You're going to end up at like gold 1 and, you know, you're going to be able to fall from there. Or if you're doing okay and your team just sucks, you're not going to be at iron 4. You're not going to be at the lowest tier ever. You're going to be somewhere in the middle, allowing yourself to gain. This is a good system, at least in this retrospect. And I'm really surprised Overwatch hasn't employed a system similar to this. Because here's the thing. Overwatch is a very, very team-oriented game. And you should know this if you played the game at all. Everybody fills a specific role. Everybody has a specific job to do. Team comps are hugely important. Player positioning is hugely important. All these sorts of things to winning a game. Very rarely, unless you're playing like a diamond with golds or a grandmaster with golds, can one player carry the rest of the team. It really comes down to everything. You can have a Genji who's getting all these kills and doing really well, but he's supported by the healer. The healer is being supported by the tanks, taking the brunt of the damage, keeping the healers protected, while everyone else does their job. It's all, everybody's got a hat to throw into the ring. Even if you have a star player, he's being backed up by other people doing other things. You know, maybe the Genji needs to escape, and he falls behind the Reinhardt shield and gets healed by the Mercy. He couldn't have done that without those two players. Maybe he would have died or been sniped or something. So it really comes down to everything. In Siege, freaking Ashe can go and get 25 kills in a game and just dominate the entire round. You know, so that it's a lot different that way, which makes it even more surprising that Overwatch wouldn't say, wow, you won 10 games, you did really well, you helped your team do really well, why don't we put you higher? Instead of just being at your own rank, and furthermore, dropping you so you can have this sense of accomplishment when you gain a few points. Again, I would much rather have you just put me at 2300, if that's really my rank, than put me at 21 and expect me to earn more. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they don't just say something like, bottom of diamond is the top tier, bottom of gold is the bottom tier, allow the next, like, top tiers, you know, to be earned, or something like that. That would make the game a lot better. Or furthermore, don't let you fall out of your rank, like they tell you you're not supposed to. Siege will not let you fall out of its rank. I'm at Silver 4, bottom of Silver. No matter how many games I lose, I will never be lower than Silver 4, because I earned that rank. I earned myself. I actually started at like Bronze 2 because my teammates were really, really awful. But like I said, I really don't care about my Siege ranking. I earned myself into Silver. I will always stay Silver. It may be very difficult for me to get to Gold, but I will never fall back down to Bronze and Iron due to any reason. And especially with Overwatch being such a complex team game, that one person not doing their job, even remotely correctly, can essentially remove all aspects of winning from the game. You know, you get someone who won't play a second healer, someone who wants to play a fourth DPS, you know, and we all know the jokes, and they come from a place of truth, could actually lose the entire game for you. Furthermore, on top of this, the way they pick your ranking is ridiculous. They compare your ranking, whatever character you're playing the most, they compare it to how other people in your skill gap do as that character. If you do really well compared to that, you gain more. If you don't, you gain less. Again, this makes entirely no sense. Why should me, let's pretend I'm playing Lucio, who I do play sometimes. Why should me playing Lucio, no matter how good or how bad I do, why should other players who I've never played with, never played against, never even met in a game, never even met in quick play, why should their skill affect me? If anything, you should be comparing me to the enemy Lucio, or even more so, just compare me to other healers on my team. Look at my actual stats. Let me get you a good game example. You have two Mercies, both on either side of the game. You have a team. Let's say they're just playing payload. The offensive team walks in and just dominates the defense. They're just crushing them at every turn. They're just walking in, mowing over people, killing people, and not taking a lot of damage as a result. Thusly, the Mercy does not get a lot of healing under her belt. Maybe she only ends the round with like 2,000 healing or something. You know, she doesn't end with the 10,000 or whatever she's supposed to get. However, her team won in a very quick manner. Likewise on defense, they're just dominating. 4 minutes go by, they haven't pushed the payload at all, and Mercy only still gets a little bit of healing. The average Mercy in this location in her skill bracket, doesn't matter, has 20,000 healing at this point. She's only got 5. Now, did the Mercy do bad? No, she did her job. She was healing her teammates. Her teammates just usually took care of healing for themselves. Especially this would happen, let's say her teammates include Lucio, Roadhog, Soldier, Reaper, and Winston, and yeah. So we have basically one character who needs healing from Mercy. That's Winston. All the other characters can heal themselves. So even more so, you know, Soldier's doing some damage. He takes a little bit. He throws down his nade, his biotic field. He gains his health back before Mercy even has a chance to heal him. Roadhog heals himself. Reaper's getting all his life steal. He's not even in need of healing. So Mercy only gets a little bit. Did the Mercy do bad? No, she did her job. So did everyone else on the team. But the game says you didn't do as well as someone else. You're not going to gain as many points. Why should that matter? Take another game where a Mercy is very close. This game is neck and neck. The game ended, it's a capture, or no, it's another payload. The game ended where, like, they got it both times, they pushed it super far, and there was, like, overtime, and they capped it. And they won by a hairline. And the Mercy ends the game with 25,000 healing, and everyone, you know, does really well. That's a really good game. But that Mercy's going to gain a huge amount of points because she did her job extra well. The other Mercy did her job just as well, did exactly what was needed of her and the fight, but she's not rewarded as much because the game didn't go the way that it needed to for her to gain those points. Likewise, if I'm a soldier and the average soldier gets, I don't know, 20 kills in a game, it doesn't matter, it's arbitrary, and I'm doing my poke damage, but the Genji's the one killing everybody. I'm doing my job in that sense. I'm, you know, weakening the enemy so Genji can just dash around and get all the kills. But I'm not getting as many kills. You know, maybe I'm not getting as many, you know, whatever. And Genji has all the gold medals, and I only end the game with, you know, 18 kills. Well, I'm not good enough. I don't gain as many because the average soldier gets 20. And that really, that irks me. You know, someone I've never played with, someone I've never met, someone I've never played against, just because they happen to do better in their games, that means I now have to live up to their standards. Not the standards of anyone else on my team. You know, if I'm Lucio and I have more healing than the Mercy, that means the Mercy's not doing her job very well. I may not have as much healing as the average Lucio, but if we win, who cares? Because ultimately, it doesn't matter how good or how bad you do. If you win, you obviously did something better than the other team. So it shouldn't matter if you did it as well as these other people who you've never played with or ever seen before. It should only matter how well you and your team did against the enemy team in that specific game. It shouldn't make any difference. And the last thing I want to talk about was the thing I mentioned earlier, and I'm noticing this video is getting pretty long, and I've still got 2 more videos to go, haha. So, I'll keep it brief. And that is, if you listen to any pro player, how did you get so good? They basically just say, just play the game. Just play and you'll get better. And I know a bunch of people have made videos on this, so I'm basically going to recap some of the videos I've seen, and basically they all have a general theme, and that is, you are a pro player. You get sponsored to play Overwatch. You have a YouTube channel you get paid for. You have all this stuff. You're also in the top 30 players in the world. I would also like to point that out. Here's me, a lowly platinum player. I have classes. I have work. I want to play other games. I've got a social life. I'm making YouTube videos, not for any money, but just for fun. I get to play 5 or 6 games. And if you play by the rule of 2s, which is after 2 losses, you stop playing for that session. Let's say I get on, and I lose 2 games. And it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm doing bad. Maybe we just get outplayed, you know, genuinely lose. I stop playing for a while, so that I don't tilt myself. I come back, and I lose 2 more games. Same deal. Watch my SR slowly drop. My other point was, I could not go back to Platinum after that long drop because I had teammates who genuinely were nowhere near my skill level. People who wouldn't pick characters that were any good. People who didn't know how to play the characters they picked just because they thought the characters looked cool. High-level Smurfs who were throwing the game on purpose. just because they could. You know, being like, oh, I don't care, this is my alt account. I've never played Widowmaker before. Let's just do it for fun. You know, thinking that it can't hurt anybody, which I'll make another video on Smurfs some other time, but my short answer is on PC it's not a problem, on Xbox it is. Because on PC you have to buy another account. On Xbox you can just make one for free. So when you can just make 90 Smurf accounts, you don't have to give a crap about any of them. How many losses do regular players have to have before, you know, the ranking system throws them to where they're supposed to be? And will it ever if they're constantly doing bad because they don't care?
My servants never die.
On top of that, I was physically unable to climb. I was getting top of my team, excuse me, that was my phone, many times when I was falling. And I was doing my job. I wasn't like, you know, picking Soldier because that's what I needed. You know, I'd be Zarya or Roadhog or whomever needed to be played at that time. But I would still lose. And a lot of it was due to bad teammates. And they have gotten rid of the win and loss system, which is good. But it still comes down to, sometimes you just lose. You know? And when you're in Grandmaster and you lose and then you win, you move around a lot better. And Grandmaster has its own problems. But the problem it doesn't have is running into people who don't know how to play the game. That's why it's not a straight shot to Grandmaster. If I played 18 hours a day, every day, yes, I would eventually get to Grandmaster, because either I'd just get lucky enough to win, or my skill would genuinely improve enough for me to get to Grandmaster. The truth is, A, I don't want to do that because I want to do other things, and B, I can't. I physically don't have enough time. You know, I don't even have to work today. I've been up for 3.5 hours, and has it really only been 3.5? Well, whatever. I've been up for 3.5 hours, and I've still got other stuff to do today. I've got to clean my room. I've got to vacuum the house. I've got to make my own food. I still have to exercise today. I exercised a little bit this morning, and I got to do some more later. I'm going to play some Overwatch today. I've got these videos to make. I've got things to do. And then maybe I don't want to play some Overwatch. Maybe I want to go play Rainbow Six, or I want to play Dead by Daylight, or I want to play Fallout, or whatever. So I've got other priorities and things to do than play Overwatch. You know, and then it's not a straight shot just by me winning. You know, you run into the guy who's a Grandmaster Smurf in a Platinum game who dominates everybody. You know, and he's playing with his friend. That's not fair to me. I lose. I run into the guy who wants to play Widowmaker on Xbox only, and he sucks at it. I lose. I run into the Symmetra player on Control. I lose. I ran into someone in Quick Play yesterday who placed their teleporter in the middle of the map and I got destroyed immediately. Thank God it was Quick Play. You run into players like that in the middle of a competitive game, you lose. And so it's not just this straight road of just sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and it's not like that at all. It's sometimes you could be the best on your team, but the healer won't heal you, you know, and you lose. And I ran into that problem a while ago, is I ran into a Smurf who didn't know how to play Mercy at all, and anytime I was Reinhardt, and there were a whole bunch of light characters around me who I could have easily beaten with my hammer and captured the point, but instead of healing me, she pulls her pistol out and starts to try to shoot them. Me, Reinhardt at 100 health, backing into a corner with his shield, trying to help get the Mercy to heal me, dies, Mercy dies, we lose the game. You know, that's not on me. I was doing everything I was supposed to. I was blocking the team, charging the enemy Reinhardt, attacking the squishies when I needed to, blocking the team. You know, things like that. How is it my fault that Mercy would never heal me? It's not. And there's a loss. So that's kind of what I'm getting at is, you know, this system needs to be fixed. 100%. You need to stop punishing players for playing the game, because you almost don't want to play once you get to a decent rank, because you almost don't want to lose it. You're like, oh, I finally got to Platinum after I actually did on my Xbox, and that's around when I stopped playing on Xbox. I finally got back into Platinum, and then I'm scared to play anymore because I'm going to fall out of Platinum. Or I was scared to play anymore because I was worried I was going to fall out of Platinum. And I'm like, I finally got there. I don't want to lose it. Now, on the one hand, I could win, but it's way easier to lose than it is to win. So why is the system like this? Alright, I think I've rambled enough. I hope that, you know, you could take away a few things that I said in this video and use them to, I don't know, whatever. Take with it what you will. These are my thoughts and opinions. This is something that I've had for a while and probably could have made multiple videos of, but I think it's easier just to do a straight shot video. Let me know what you think. If you'd rather see a video like this broken up into many videos, by all means. I will be having 2 more parts to this video. There will be a video coming out tomorrow and a video coming out the day after that as well. Tomorrow's video is about some of the characters, and the day after that is just a general discussion about some mechanics in Overwatch, specifically one-shot mechanics. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you feel enlightened, and I will see y'all next time. Later, guys.